times.
Is it safe to say? Is it safe to say? And you could that our teamwork needs work.
Well, it definitely does, because this is the thing. Our measure of success is based on our oppressors' measure of success, right? We want white man success,
like a sense of approval.
Like, all right, so when an Indian guy comes from India, right? His level of success is not really based on American. He'll come, he'll work, he'll drive a cab for years to save his money up and live in a house with a ton of different people to buy a Subway,
to live to buy the American dream. Like, what do you mean? He's not going to
but
do the same thing that he would do in India. Here, he would do what the capitalism.
But let's take.
Hold on. Can I say one thing before? The white person's measure of success is you get educated, you go to school, you buy a house, you get a job, go to college, all that. That's them, right?
No, that's the blueprint. That's not the measure.
The
end goal is the measure. Buy a house. No matter how you get there, that's how you get there. But if that's their blueprint, so like you're not saying that they're following their blueprint. They're not
following white man's blueprint.
No
blueprint. But we are though.
But that's that's the thing about it. That's the same mentality that a black from a foreign country has as well. A black from a foreign country has the mentality like that as well. I'm going to come here. I'll go to school. I'll get a job. I'll buy a home. I'll get married. They have that as well. I think it may just be us American blacks who are here,
but they're also colonized too.
Well, you're asking, I'm just saying. But you're asking why black people can't do certain things, why the home ownership and everything like that is low. But then you're saying that everybody else is up, but you're saying that we're the ones that don't want to follow a certain thing. So it's like
they don't follow that though.
Who doesn't follow it?
Other races of people that come to this country.
Come here and they go to they come here, they'll work, but their kids are going to go to school.
Yeah,
their kids are going to follow that.
Yeah, yes.
They might be too old to go to school and all that. They got to hit the ground running, but they're going to push, and then they're going to send their second generation to school,
right?
And then they're going to get everything off. Like, school is the way to get to that next level.
Not for all of them.
No, I mean for everybody in America. So, like, that's the blueprint. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay a little bit on the back end.
Hold on. Let me finish. Right. So we see that a convenience store owner, a franchise owner, not college educated or anything like that, could be upwardly mobile and have money, right? Okay. Now, just because a guy that owns some Subways sent his kids to college doesn't mean that everybody has to go to college, right? It could be, let's say, for instance, an Indian family, they start bringing people from India, and it's 15 people living in a crib. Now, and let's just say those out of the 15, 7 of them are kids, and the others are adults. You got seven adults that's probably not college educated, that's grinding just for the next generation. But that doesn't mean everybody's gonna, even if they go to college, that doesn't mean they have to rely on college, right? What other plans or other ways do black people know to make bread?
Sports. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the question means. Yeah.
Other than the path of going to school and getting an education, right. What is a foolproof plan for them to be upwardly mobile?
Well, they're starting their, there's, I don't know, do you count trades as a school? I guess so, right?
Okay, how many you think there's a ton of tradesmen?
Well, that's on us.
Tradesmen?
That's on us.
What?
That's on us. That's not on this. That's not on the system. That's on us.
Black people are 13% of the population, so I don't think it's going to be a ton. Like, what percentage of the 13%? Yeah, I mean,
but that's on us. That's not on.
Back when in the 70s and the 60s where
blacks don't really want to. They don't want to do trades
there.
like that.
All right, that's what I'm saying. That's on us. That's not on this. That's not on this
Why?
system.
What I'm saying. Okay, what I'm saying is that the reason why we don't want to do trades is because as the white people send your kids to school, get a job, buy a house, start a family. This is what I'm trying to say. Our plan shouldn't be the same as the white man's because we weren't set up in the same system. It wasn't supposed to be the same way. That wasn't the plan for black people. When Europeans brought blacks over here, or if we were brought over here,
working, Ron. Like I don't
what
know,
do you mean
like if you want to deviate from the plan, but the plan is where you are. Like if you just don't want to, like we're here, and it sounds like the plan, honestly, is push the second generation forward. That second generation push the third generation forward. We had a conversation about not fucking up.
Okay.
Like the biggest thing you can do for your family is not to mess up. You know what I mean? Not to have a major catastrophe where you set your elders back. You know what I mean? Like where they have to put up a large amount of money or put a house up or do anything for you to get set back, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like what you're describing, even through the people who are coming here, the people that like are already here, everybody is pouring into that second generation and pushing them forward.
Okay.
And then that second generation pushes the third generation. But, and then you have
one thing you're missing though. Stay right there. The second generation, they don't have to. They could be a doctor or a lawyer, but they don't have to because they're coming from a family of business owners, entrepreneurs. They're building community at the same time.
Yeah.
You go to certain towns, right? That are all Asian, that are all Indian, right? If that next generation wanted to start a business, they have a customer base.
But the second generation of Asian is not inherent in the Chinese restaurant. Once that
they don't have to,
they're sending their kids off to be dentists and to be doctors, then they're selling that restaurant to another Asian that's going to do the same thing for their family. It's not going to be like generations. It's not going to
and hold on. There's a difference in that too. That kid that goes to school, he can start his own law firm in the Asian neighborhood or in the Indian neighborhood. That doctor can do their practice in the Indian neighborhood or the Asian neighborhood. Whereas if most black doctors, they have to probably rely on a customer base, not necessarily like, because you don't see a lot of black doctors' offices. Do you know a lot of them?
Doctors, no.
Even lawyers' offices. A lot of black lawyers' offices, you see a lot of them?
I've seen them. I don't know about a lot.
But most black people say when you get a lawsuit, you get a Jewish suit, right?
It rhymes.
Do we support our businesses? Do we support our professionals?
Well, like,
we try.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Ron. It's all well, not saying you at this table or us at the table, but it's a us thing.
It is a us thing. But first, we have to build out communities. You don't think there's
personnel?
Hold on.
We're not short on the personnel.
No. All right. You don't think it's a problem that when you live in a black neighborhood and black people don't own the businesses in the neighborhood? You think that's a coincidence?
I mean, it's all I've ever seen my whole entire life. I don't know what it would look like.
Okay,
but
good.
Why though?
I see
why? Tell me why that is.
It just looks like they don't want to own them. Because now I'm an adult.
Tell me why they don't own them.
It's my time to
tell me why they don't want to own them though.
Because they don't want to be entrepreneurs. They don't want to do that. But when I'm in the boroughs, when I'm in Brooklyn, when I'm in Queens, they are black barbershops, they are black wing spots, they are black driving insurance places. They are black. I mean, in the suburbs, no, you're not gonna see too many of those things. I assume because the rent is too high here. You know what I mean? They don't want to deal with all that. They don't want to. But there's black hairdressers, there's black everything, everywhere.
Yeah. They're gonna
bar and grills, everything.
There's no shortage.
There's no shortage of barbershops and hair salons.
Yeah,
right. But even your certain businesses are not black people don't do. They won't do.
Well, what's the point? What's your point though? I'm confused with your point here. Are you saying it's because is it a us thing or a system thing? That's what I'm trying to get from you. Where are you headed with this one?
I think it's a combination.
Playing safe, my boy.
Yeah, that's the fence.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Because if you listen to what I said, because I said that the plan was our plan. We shouldn't blueprint our plan off of the white man's plan, right? Because the white man didn't have the same plan for us as he had for himself, right? But we see other groups of people that's willing to sacrifice a generation to get the next generation above water, right? Where and that's what I was trying to say, right? But black people, we're not doing that. We're not willing to live 15 people in a crib to own a crib and buy another crib and all that.
We don't have to do that necessarily because we're not.
Why are you saying that?
Because I've lived in that situation where I've sent for people in Haiti and coming over. Like, you're not sending from people for another country to come here to live here. Like, you know, like it's kind of apples and oranges. Like, these people, when you got 15 people in the house, these aren't 15 people that were born here and they just ended up being in the certain houses. You know what I mean? These are 15 people that were born in another country. They need a sponsor. They have to come here. They have to live in that house because they don't have anywhere else in this country to live.
Let me speak as a black American. Let me speak as a black American.
No. If Big Mama has a big house and she has the generations of the cousins and the aunts and everything like that living in the house, that house is a house where people could stay there, get their money up until they could buy their house. I've seen that happen too. Yeah, that's Black American.
Yes,
but
it doesn't happen all the time.
Well,
it happens less as you think.
Less and less.
It happens less than you think.
I don't know.
Less.
Because Big Mama usually doesn't have a house.
But
that's another thing too.
So Big Mama should have a house. I don't know. Like, someone has to get that house to start that process. Well, but I know that dude driving the taxi came over and he got a crib, so he could start that process. That process can't even start because niggas are still renting.
A lot of niggas is not driving a taxi.